All right, all right, all right. Let's get ready. I know I'm ready. How y'all feeling? All right, everybody. How you doing? It is Tuesday, and you know what that means? That means it's Timeline Tuesdays on Talk It Out with MsTonya, the podcast that takes you to the headlines and the timelines. But we do a whole lot more than that. We bring that straight into conversation. And today, I've got a few topics for you. I've got a few things on my mind. So you just get in here, get in the chat, and let me know what's on yours. All right. This is episode 164. Yes, it is indeed. Yes, it is indeed. Let me tell you guys something. I got out early this morning. I got myself together. I had a lot on my mind. I wanted to go out and, as you guys know, I take my little walks. I try to get at least 3 miles in every day. If you're one of those persons who do your little thing for yourself, whatever it is that you do, go ahead and get in the comments and let me know what you're doing. It's been, I can't even say it's been a week because today is just Tuesday, but every single day in these timelines, in these headlines, it is something, I'm telling you. All right, all right. Got good people in here who are listening, so I appreciate you. Good to see you in the building with me. Some of you guys are at work. It is lunchtime, so I hope that you have really good lunch. But one thing that I saw that came up on the timelines for me, let me go ahead and get on in here because you know that we got to talk about it. We're talking about life, people, and politics because why shouldn't we? We should. We absolutely should. We got a story that South Carolina should definitely have in the forefront of their minds. The Senate has a bill out. And I know that you guys, you have to know about it. If you don't, we get ready to talk about it right now. Yes, we are. And we absolutely should. I want to bring these banners down so that you guys can get in here and see what we got going on. Now, listen, I don't know where your thoughts are, but there is here, right here, straight out of the South Carolina headlines, is Senate Bill 323. All right. This bill, out of many bills, are calling for the most and one of the harshest in the country on abortion. All right. It has to be. The legislation goes far beyond restricting access. It actually threatens doctors and even targets neighbors, friends, and advocates who simply want to share information and support. Have you guys heard about this one? Let me know if you've heard about it. I'm telling you, this one is one that I feel like a lot of people need to get out here, and this is something that we should be having conversations about, women in the community, because it is extreme, very extreme. It just goes far, far beyond what a lot of restrictions have been. It threatens our doctors. It threatened them with prison time. It criminalizes patients and families, and like I said, it's even targeting neighbors and friends and advocates who simply want to share information, who are trying to support someone. You know, at the core of this bill, we've got to ask ourselves, like, is this something that we want? And if it's not, you have to make that vocal. Okay. At the core of the bill, it just isn't an attack on reproductive health freedom. It's an attack on free speech, on our privacy, on basic human rights. So get out here. I know that I'm going to bring this up here tomorrow, October the 1st. You can make your voice heard, and you absolutely should. I want to make sure that I bring up the right thing here. Yeah, it is Bill 323. This bill doesn't just ban abortion, it criminalizes. We talked about that. And unlike most legislation, 323 is moving outside of regular session. Okay, so on Wednesday, that is on tomorrow, October 1st at 9:30 a.m. So you go to the State House. all South Carolina, people who are in South Carolina, this could be your only chance to testify in person. So, if the public have not heard about this stage, the bill could advance to the Senate without meaningful input from the very people that it harms. Make your voice heard. Now, here's what the bill will do. Okay, I'm gonna let you know some of those things that the bill will do. Here's some of the things that the bill is going to do. It is going to ban medication abortions and even the manufacture or possession of drugs that includes an abortion. It will remove exceptions for rape, incest, and fatal fetal abnormality. Okay. It's going to repeal current protections that prevent prosecution of pregnant people, exposing patients themselves to criminal penalties. It imposes felony charges for up to 30 years and permanent license revocation on physicians and the providers. Criminalize helping someone travel out of the state for an abortion is going to be in this bill. It's going to gag doctors, advocates, and even friends from sharing information on how to obtain an abortion, including online. So, you guys, you hear how far and how extreme this is. Okay. It's going to allow family members to sue doctors, helpers, or anyone who aids and abets abortion, treating them like organized criminals. In real terms, this means that if a frightened teenager turns to her aunt, a teacher, or friend's parent to help getting out of state for care, those adults will be criminalized. You need to know that. So you think about this, a 10-year-old who was raped by a family member could be forced to carry and give birth to a rapist child. A woman experiencing pregnancy complications could find her doctors delaying or denying care out of fear or out of, fear for prosecution. The cruelty of this bill cannot be overstated. It creates a web of surveillance, punishment, and fear that will cause a whole lot of harm to a whole lot of people and their families. I don't know if you guys know about that in your timelines. I've been seeing it in the headlines. Definitely is something that has been going on that you need to know. That's something that you needed to know. I also want to talk just a little bit about farmers. What you guys know about that? Anybody know? Get in here and let me know. What's going on? What have you been reading in the headlines about farmers? Because this is very, very interesting. We have an administration who are doing things that I don't know if you can explain it because I certainly can't. But let's find out. Let's get in here and let's find out. Let's find out. I think I got a clip in here that I can share with you guys. Let's get this out here. Here we go.
And we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers who are, for a little while, going to be hurt until it kicks in. The tariffs kick into their benefit.
Now, I played that little clip, and I don't know if you can help me understand. But he just said that we're going to be helping out our farmers. And I don't have a problem with that, helping farmers. Farmers are losing their farms. They've got crops that are rotting, but we need to make this thing make sense. Somebody needs to make it make sense. I'm gonna play a clip that's just a little bit longer for you. And then on the other side of it, we're going to get into the conversation.
And we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers who are, for a little while, going to be hurt until it kicks in. The tariffs kick into their benefit.
Why should American taxpayers bail out farmers who are hurting because of the president's tariff policies?
Well, look, I think that the farmers, and I represent a lot of them, and they want nothing more than open markets. There are markets right now that aren't open to some of our commodities. As a consequence of that, we've got a big harvest coming in here in South Dakota, corn and soybeans, and no place to go with it. So what the president has said is, I'm going to support and I'm going to help our farmers. And so we are looking at, I'm a member of the Senate Ag Committee, have been for some time, and we're looking at potential solutions to make sure that we can help support farmers until some of those markets come back. I think part of it is that the president's trying to achieve with his trade policy reciprocity with countries that have been taking advantage of us for a long time. And I think most of us support that. I think a lot of our farmers support that. They are anxious. They want to see markets opened up. And so when I speak to the president and his team about this, I always reiterate the importance of keeping agriculture front and center when you're negotiating trade deals. But at the end of the day, our farmers are probably going to need some financial assistance this year, and a lot of the revenue coming in off the tariffs is what they would use to provide that.
You heard that? You heard that? Now let's be honest. This administration put our farmers in the position that they're in. And now it's up to us, the people, the taxpayers, those who are dealing with these tariffs. We're footing the bill for this bailout because we're the ones who are paying the price for the tariffs. What I want to know is, does this make good sense? I'm not sure. I don't know. What do y'all think? Get it to the chat and let me know. But the farmers are in this position right now because of the same terrorism, some of the same policies that they're pushing in this administration. And now we're circling right back around to have to bail them out. Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you feel. I see some people in here. How are you doing? Thurman, good to have you in here. I see Fox is in the building. Let's see what you got going on here, sir. You said the people who said the qualified candidate, the woman who ran, was off message. When she spoke of this, I get it, especially locally. There is a reason to be apathetic, but that's what they bank on. People we don't want in office are winning close races with low voter turnout. Not to use other people as our reference point, but there's a reason they pay us so much attention, meaning study us in detail and ignore us in office. And I think you're talking about, the first topic we were discussing on abortion. We've got a ban that, if you guys don't know about, this is your time right now to make your voice heard, make the calls that you need to make. Go to the State House on tomorrow. It's tomorrow morning, 9:30. All right. October 1st. And you're right, Fox. You're right. Let's put his comment back up here. We have candidates and we had a candidate who talked about this, but people weren't listening then. They weren't. They didn't find that of value. I don't know. Well, I won't say that. I won't say they didn't find that valuable. How much did the message get out? Were the people really listening? Did they really care? It takes such extreme measures for us to pay attention. I say no. Pay attention from the beginning. Pay attention right now. Thank you for sharing your comment. But talk to me about these farmers. Let's talk about this. Now we've got, our president as well as, lawmakers discussing giving the farmers a bailout. They put the farmers in this position. Are there any farmers out here who have something to say about it? How do you feel about this flip-flop? How are you feeling knowing that we voted in and we have an administration who really ruined and damaged your livelihood? I will never say that people don't deserve a bailout, but I really am curious as to why this is happening now. The same people that we may be bailing out, they don't feel like other, groups should be bailed out. Everybody is being so incredibly selfish, self-serving, group serving, and this is about a larger picture. We are a larger community. We're here. We're in this. Whether you want to say together or not, we are. We really are. But we've got to pay attention to who we are putting in office. We've got to pay attention to this circling back, circling around. I certainly am. I am. What's going on the timeline a little bit as you guys are coming in and joining the conversation. At any point, if there's something that you want to talk about, if you want to swing back to it, if you're taking your time to type in on the comments, get back to it. I'm going on the timeline here. Usually on Thursday, some Thursdays, Kelly and I get in here and we talk together. But I noticed she had a post up today, so I'm going to go on Kelly's timeline and I'll just read a post that she put up because I feel like it is very important, particularly for people here in South Carolina. That's where I'm at. I'm in South Carolina. Let's deal with it. Let's talk some of these things out. But these are Kelly's views. This is what she want to say here. She said, if I had to vote today and I either lived in the districts that I could vote for these people, or if it was already midterms, these would be my choices. Some are merely based off of the work they are putting in because money doesn't win elections. It's been proven. But on the ground, putting the work in does. So follow them. Share this post, support these candidates. Disclaimer, I am still doing my research and who is starting. Okay, she's still doing her research on who's beginning to announce. So let's see what Kelly has in mind. She's got it here on a post. If you go to her post, if you follow her, you can read this for yourself. But I will read some of these here. For governor of South Carolina, she has Jermaine Johnson for South Carolina, June primaries 2026 plus November 2026. Superintendent for Education, South Carolina, Sylvia Wright for South Carolina. Superintendent of Education, June primaries 2026, November 2026. For U.S. Senate, Brandon Brown for South Carolina, June primaries 2026, November 26. Congressional District 7, John Vincent for Congress, June primaries, and of course, midterms, November 2026. Congressional District, Mac DeFord, primaries in June, okay, and midterms in November 26. Florence City Council, LaShonda Neesmith Jackson, November 26, 2026, and Myrtle Beach Mayor, Mark Kruller, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, November 4th, 2025. Myrtle Beach City Council, Terrence Butler for City Council. Make sure you guys go and follow these. And that's November 4th. That's coming up next month, 2025. So for Myrtle Beach City Council, she has Terrence Butler. And that is a race that's coming up really, really soon. That's November 4th, 2025. Conway City Council, Tanya Robinson for City Council, November 4th, 2025. Another one coming up really, really quickly. Latimer, Marcus McGriff, December 2025, also coming up very shortly. House District 71, Julie Zimmerman, November 2026. Mayor of Columbia, okay. We have Jessica Thomas for mayor, November 4th, 2025. So that is going to be coming up next month, really, really soon. House District 79, Hamilton R. Grant, June primaries, okay. And, the midterms are in November 2026. She also states here, if you know of any other candidates that are doing the work, and this is in all caps, that they have to be doing the work, let me know and we can share. As they come and I see that they are real, that they are the real deal, I will ensure everyone knows about them. But do your research and vote. So there's a long list of candidates out here for you to find out more about, do your homework, go visit their pages. If they are people that you support, definitely make sure that you share that information. Make sure that you are also donating to these campaigns. Campaigns do take money. They need to be out here and they need to get the information out. So that's what we got for you guys. Make sure that you get involved. All right. I see we got Keisha LaShawn in here. She said we need farmers, but some of them voted against their best interests. You're absolutely right. We're circling it back to talk, those are some of the things that are going on in the headline. We're talking about the issues with the farmers who they're in an incredible state. Some of them did vote against their best interests. That is what's happened. But now, very soon, they're going to be getting a bailout. I don't know how you guys feel about it. You got to let me know. All right, we got Amari in here. He said, "It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other, support each other. We have nothing to lose but our change." Okay? Asada Shakur. Respect all times. Respect all times. Definitely. We've got to fight for our freedoms. Okay? And rest in power to Asada Shakur. Okay? I agree with you, man. I absolutely do. Life, people, politics. Where y'all at? And I got to tell you something. I want you guys to do this because it's important that I tell you this, and I have to tell you this. We have to support independent media. I am a part of that. I'm a part of independent media. I need you guys to make sure that you are sharing content. I need to make sure that you are engaging. Share it on your page. All right. Make sure that you follow the socials. Make sure that you go to all of the places where you can do this. Do all of the things. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm very easy to find. Let me put up my little banner for you all so that you will know. All right. So that you can know. But let's see. I've been having a pretty good day here. Got a whole lot going on, but down here at the banner, you see you can like and you subscribe. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok at MsTonya TV. So make sure you do that. If you want to make a donation, that is not at, the dollar sign, MsTonya TV. And it's all spelled together, MsTonyatv. Make sure that you get all of that done. We need it. We need it for ourselves. We need it for each other. All right. Where y'all at on some of these conversations? What are some of the things that you are seeing coming across your timeline that you feel are things that we should absolutely be talking about? We can't just leave it in the headlines. We've got to put some work in. There are things that we have to, that we have to do. But I do want to say this too, because with so much going on and all of this stuff is coming at us, it's like we're not even getting a break. So you've got to take those break. I hope that you're not just constantly on timelines. I hope you're not constantly, listening to all of this information and not giving yourself a break. It's too much. You shouldn't put that much stress on yourself. Don't stay in it. Don't live in that. I do encourage you to stay aware because we have to be. We have to be aware for ourselves. We have to be aware for our communities, for our future, for our young people. That's why, reading through these candidates who are out here doing some work, that's why that's important. So that you're able to get behind these people, get behind some people who are like that. And again, if you've got people out there who are doing work in your community, in your region, and you feel like it need to be shared, put it out here. That's what we're doing. Okay. The hanging, I think that Kaepernick is the gem. We'll look back on history at him differently. Man, that's real. I hear you. The hangings. I can't imagine. I can't imagine anyone hanging themselves from a tree, and particularly brothers. I don't know what's going on with that. And as I said, the news cycle It's just so fast, it's just so steady, and if you don't stay on a story, it's just like on to the next, and that is done purposefully. It really is. It's to keep you confused, it's to keep you perhaps, upset, to keep you in a rage. There's a whole lot going on. I mean, we're about to deal with a government shutdown. I was waiting to see if someone had mentioned that. And in fact, as quickly as I could say that, I see someone, we got Keisha LaShawn, she said, if the government shut down, many people will lose their jobs. Voting does matter. Well, I tell you something, even if the government doesn't shut down, many people are losing their jobs. And it is going to happen, and it has been happening. We've had hundreds of thousands of people lose their jobs within a small time frame. It hasn't been a year yet, okay? And we've had hundreds of thousands of people lose their jobs, and they're continuing to lose their jobs. Okay? The government is being dismantled right in front of our very face. So I don't know if I can say if the government shut down, many people will lose their job. If the government, with the government staying open, people are losing their jobs. But what are we doing about it? How are we dealing with these issues? How are we? We've got to think about Medicaid. We've got to think about health insurance. Like, that's important. Why are we not talking about that? Those are issues that I feel like we've got lawmakers there to deal with that. Talk to each other. Get it done. Get it done. We've got to send people in who are ready to do the work, people who are going to speak differently, who are going to talk differently, who are willing to talk, but not be, just for lack of better words, don't BS. Don't BS. Because this is beyond partisanship. I'm not, listen, that D and that R, that's not even what we're talking about. We're talking about who's working for people. And I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious. We've got some people who've got D's beside their name and they're not doing a D thing for us. Let's be honest about that. So I don't want anybody to think, I'm out here, putting it out for a particular person, party, not necessarily, but you see who's not working for us. Be real with yourself. Stop being loyal to something that's not working for you. It's not working. That's how I feel about it. That's just how I feel. People, do what you're supposed to do. Get out here and speak. Use your voice. Everybody's got a job. We can't all do the same things. We all don't have the same requirements. What I do is not maybe it wouldn't be what you would be able to do. But the few people that I can help, the few people that I can move, well, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm responsible for. If you've got a group of people around you, there are people around you, there are things that you can be doing in your community. You don't have to be a part of a particular organization to get things done. You don't. You just got to be a real person who cares about people. Actually, who care about yourself. This is affecting all of us. And if it doesn't affect you directly, I know someone in your family or someone in your neighborhood, someone that you know or someone that you work with, this will affect. Because you know somebody who's on Medicaid. You know someone who gets SNAP benefits. I'm sure that you do. And if you don't, great for you. Really. But why wouldn't you find it important that people and children have food and health care? Especially since you do. Is that too much to ask? Is that unfair to ask? It is not. It is not. And the thing about it is we can't even appeal to people. We've come so far We've come so far to just backtrack even further back. This makes no sense. None. None whatsoever. And these are my opinions, you know. I'm not the news. These are my opinions, and I'm sharing, and we're having conversations about things that are happening in our news because I want to encourage you guys to have conversations. You don't even have to have it here with me. I know sometimes some of these conversations, they could be a little tricky. They are. When I'm out, I get people who tell me like, "Hey, I listen to the podcast. I wish I could make some comments, but I can't. I'm at work. I'm working." And there are people who can't make comments, but they are involved. And I say to you, listen, I understand. I tell them I understand. You can't take food out of your mouth necessarily to make a comment, but there's something else that you can do. So find that. That's what I encourage people to do. Guys, I got to let you know what's going on. Saturday, October 11th at 11 a.m. We've got a South Carolina Black Farmers Connect. I think this is a very good workshop and a lot of people out in the Lake City area. I hope you guys will come out and make sure that you get that information. There's going to be a guest speaker who's going to present some agricultural news as it relates to USDA farming requirements and some incentive programs, things that you need to know. This is being hosted by Florence County Democratic Women's Council. Okay, the guest speaker will be Shahara Julius. That's for the farmers. If you know farmers or if you are interested in finding out how you can get into farming, this information is for you. Make sure you get there. Also, want to let you know going on locally, Flowtown's Kids Got Talent. And this is phase one for Flowtown's Kids Got Talent. You need to join in and make sure that you get an opportunity to compete at the South Carolina Pecan Festival and Food Festival. Okay. For more information, you guys need to call 843-665-3253. Okay. And they will begin scheduling for performance times on October 18th at the Barnes Street Activity Center. So that's what you guys need to make sure you get your kids out there. Yes, Flowtown has a whole lot of talent. Get your kids an opportunity to perform and win some really, really great prizes and showcase their talent at the South Carolina Pecan and Music Festival. That's going to be really exciting. Also, um, at the South Carolina Pecan Festival, we've got the main attraction, Thomas McClary and the Commodores. I'm really excited about that. I know you guys remember the Commodores. All right. For more information and anything that you want to know about the South Carolina Pecan Festival, go to www.scpecanfestival.com. All of the information will be there for you. All right. Chalk it up. The sidewalk chalk art contest. Now, this is something that I really listen. Let me come back to you so you can understand what I'm saying. This is something that I really want you guys to get into because there's so much going on. There's music, there's food, of course, there's pecans. I'm going to be out there. I'll be on the jazz stage doing a little poetry. Mr. Tyler the poet is gonna be out there. I know a lot of you guys love his poetry. He's one of my favorite local poets, and a couple other of my poet friends will be on the scenes. But along with that, this is what I want you guys to do. Get involved with the arts. The Arts Corridor on Arts on Evans, you go out there, there's gonna be a chalk it up sidewalk art contest, prizes for you. You can come out as an individual. You get a 5x5 space to do your artwork. The theme is any fall theme that you think of. So think about it, come on out. You can have a team of 4. I think that would be something that would be a lot of fun. Get a group of you guys together, get out there and showcase your talent. Showcase it and have some fun. Really, and win the prize. I wouldn't mind. I wish I could enter it myself because I kinda want the prize pack, to be honest. So come on out there and, any more information that you guys wanna know about it, again, go to, scpecanfestival.com. That's what I got for you. That's what I got. So I hope you guys come on out and enjoy some of that. Let's see. Got some more comments that have rolled on in. Let me get on in here and see what you guys are saying. See, I got Fox in here. I appreciate you being a part of the conversation, man. You got a whole lot you're sharing with us. He says we have to take the baton from the advocates and squad up. I think off grid a little more, but be loud at the polls, city hall, and we underestimate local politics. I think there are enough people about that life to mobilize. We may have to work with folk we don't like to stop the people that hate all of us. Oh my goodness, that's really deep, man. These systems are beatable. Our fragmentation is our weakness. If someone isn't just total immoral or egregious or snakes in character, we'll have to get together to win collectively. What you're saying is really deep, brother. What you're saying is really deep because and factual. And maybe I shouldn't even say it's really deep. That's just a fact. I mean, do we really have to agree on every single policy of a person? Particularly when we know that there are things that they can get done or that we want to see them get done, if they've got some good ideas, if they're out here really and you see them working in the community, you see them trying, you know that they have a background. So you have to like every single thing about them? No. No. But what Fox is saying here is we've got to get together because there's a bigger collective picture. And I agree with you on that. I like what you said there, brother. All right. He also says there's a call back to the land we already have. I'm trying to learn more about the group in Georgia that squad up and buy land together. It's not impossible. We have an option to wage these fights. We talked about this once, like I think a couple episodes ago. We were talking about people doing that. Also talking about sharing land and people having an opportunity to co-op on some land. It makes a lot of sense. And I say this, if we're not willing to come together behind a candidate and candidates who are going to stand up, candidates who are going to support policies, I'd be really interested to see how many people are going to really get together to buy land together. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Families should be thinking that. Good friends should be thinking that. School friends, college friends. But we gotta, there's so much that we have to do. And like I said, I don't want you guys to stress yourself out. You can't, but you gotta do something. Get in here on the conversation. Share stuff like this. I mean, if it's just so that people can say, okay, well, I heard they were talking about XYZ on Talk It Out with MsTonya. What do you think about that? Right? Yeah, somebody made a comment that you should do such and such. Somebody made a comment about certain candidates running. What do you think about that? Conversation is important. Your voice matters in a whole lot of ways, more ways than one. All right. That's basically what I got for you guys. I'm just gonna follow. I see some comments in here, but beyond the comments, I just want to let you guys know that for us circling back and doing, helping farmers out with this bailout. I can't say that I'm against it. It just don't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. I want somebody to engage in that conversation with me and tell me, like, make it make sense. You put the farmers in this position, and now we're taking tariff money to bail them out. And if we're gonna be bailing out farmers, I don't see why we can't make sure that people have health care. If we're gonna be bailing out farmers, I don't see why we can't continue to make sure that children are gonna have food and families are gonna have foods on their tables and you're snatching it away from them. I don't understand that. So when we're having those conversations, because I'm not against it, I certainly don't want anybody to be hungry. I don't. I don't. Make it make sense. That's all I got for y'all. That's all I got. I might just go ahead and get out here and I gotta go to the grocery store myself right now. I gotta figure out, what I'm gonna have for dinner. I don't know how much you guys are budgeting, but I've always been a person who budgets. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I go to the grocery store these days, it's not nice. It's not nice at all. I don't even, in fact, I don't even get a buggy. I get the little hand cart. The little cart, because I'm not buying a whole lot of stuff at one time. It's just really, really expensive. I'm budgeting and I'm paying attention to everything that I purchase. I have to. I don't know where you guys are at. I can't even imagine what a full buggy, a full shopping cart of groceries would cost because I don't even have a cart, and it exceeds a lot of times what I would like for it to be. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest and I'm being transparent. Make sure you guys do all of the things. Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe. Do that for me. All right. And that's it. That's what I got for you. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your day.